Good.
traveler, world traveler.
I laughed. Todd retires at the end of the year. And I've been telling him, we need to do something in January to celebrate. Oh, have Brian in the video.
That's true. Hey, good morning. How are you?
All right.
Some construction going on over there.
Yeah, we're getting rolling.
That's good news.
Brand new R, so be a while still. Parking lot looks like it's coming along though.
Yeah, taking shape, isn't it? It's gonna help your parking area, isn't it?
Yeah, we still have ample parking. I mean, to meet code, obviously, we need that too. But I think what it will help, especially in the short run, is there are a lot of physician office people that park in our parking lot that we're using for, that we're building.
Right.
And they need somewhere else, and that's right across the street from them. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So they've already asked if that's going to be available to them, which it is. We're not kind of carrying much. So, yeah, we'll be okay.
I was telling me that they're doubling the size of their building, the Wasatch Mental Health.
Oh, really? All right.
I know it's been sent to the city for a while.
Has it?
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure.
I didn't even realize it was being abandoned.
Ryan, were you able to log on?
I haven't tried yet. I lost everything I had open, so I'm trying to find it. I'll look.
I just thought I
Find
would
it
make
as we're going
sure
along.
the audio is working.
Okay, let's,
Right now, we've got to leave about 10 to 9.
yeah, we gotta get out of this. I think the room's scheduled at 9, so we can
I
get
got
out.
to get back to the hospital by 9 for the meetings. Thought about just staying there,
Doing Zoom.
zooming in, but I've been in person for a while, so I thought, I'll just come on. Leave when I got to leave.
Okay. Open Zoom.
How are you?
Good, there you go.
Good. Oh, good. All right, I just wanted to make sure the link worked.
Recording in progress.
If I turn my sound down, can you hear me through that? Doesn't sound like it. Might be on you, so I want you.
You're on mute.
Can you hear me through it now? Yep. Okay. Turn my sound down. There we go. Oh, still doing.
Maybe I just need to turn this down.
Usually if you turn my.
Stop that noise.
Hi, how are you?
We die. Little reverb.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Huh, what happened to me? I got. See it. Oh, there.
Exactly. It's probably just walked in the room.
Yeah.
Hang on my screen.
You know that's right.
I'm not quite sure what's got that echo on there.
Wow, nobody on.
You might need to.
Oh, that's what I need to do. If I need to mute myself, that's what it is. Turn.
There we go.
Okay, we got it.
I thought Wednesday were November 2nd was gonna be good. But it's kind of bleak.
We got the most important people.
Yeah, that's right. When they're here, the most important.
Files I'm trying to find.
Chris.
I didn't hear from anyone saying that they weren't gonna make it,
Uh,
except for Bob and Lynn.
We weren't.
Oh.
That's a what? Wild crocodile. That.
Based on an elementary school.
Oh, really?
Wasn't your kid loving it?
Yeah, I have a 7-year-old little brother. My kids have experienced, my dad's had surgery, so he's recovering. So I'm like, it was Randy Saturday, what, 2 weeks ago.
Perfect, thank you.
So, no movie.
I had a couple elementaries watch it and the kids are in there at the end just clapping and laughing.
Oh, yeah.
But there's been a lot of resistance. People, I don't want to see that show. It's like, I think you missed the point. It's a really cute show. I haven't seen it, so it's not easy for me to see that.
That's pretty good. Pretty fun. What's it called?
Lyle Crocodile is live, and then they have the crocodile is.
Yeah, it's about a crocodile who can sing.
Oh, he's
A
obviously-
showman kind of adopts him and he lives in his house.
And of course, the sports get involved. Gotta go see Ticket to Paradise. That one is
Yeah.
Was it good?
funny.
Is that funny?
Oh my
I
gosh.
heard that one either. I gotta get out more.
It's got
Yeah.
Julia Roberts and George
George
Clooney.
Clooney, did it just come out?
It opened 2 weeks ago. But it is funny.
Kind of one of those rom-com.
Yeah, which is like needed right now.
Yeah, me and my wife. love those.
You have Black Adam too. I've heard mixed reviews on that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Black Panther opens on Friday. So tired of all the Marvel shows.
that.
Not gonna lie.
It brings them in, all right.
That's what my broker says, Chris, that can tell me.
Brings them in.
Bring people in.
Who's the actor on that?
Black Panther, I don't know,
Well,
because the last one passed away.
passed away, yeah, it's funny, I think they're making it one like damn sad, but I think it's gonna be one.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
you're
like
right. I don't think they
sisters or
tried to
something.
replace him
Yeah.
per se. They
Oh, okay.
had somebody else, rise up to be the leader instead of trying to just.
So I think it's after the sister or something.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't hope to be that.
Everything was all about race. The girls being more powerful.
The wokeness, the wokeness.
Anybody else got on yet?
No,
So
That's
crazy.
strange.
My wife have to watch cartoons before we're comfortable.
Yeah.
With letting our kids watch our kids, because, you know, gender.
So different, how different world we live in.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
First time I remember my grandma saying that. I don't know how you kids
Yes, it does.
Well, I guess we had started. Maybe I scared everybody away. Tell them I have a report on their assignment. Only one. to come, So we'll, it's probably be short and sweet.
Yeah.
We'll dive in. Okay, so there's the agenda. We only talked about approval of the meeting, so replacement of Mike Hardy. So we sent out through the chamber, through the city newsletter, and news, I don't think we put it in the newspaper, did we? Did we put it in?
We might have.
Anyway, we had like 9 people say they wanted to be on here.
You had any responses to it?
Yeah, 9.
Oh, really?
So here's the names of, there are a lot of good ones. Kristen Tanny, I don't know if anybody knows her. Larry Skinner, Mark Kershaw, Weldon Reeves, Lorraine Moore, Jordan Latimer, Dale Williams, Tyler Moore, and Jim Rowland. So we have quite a few, so.
I like Larry Skinner.
I mean, there's guys with MBAs, public, doing public marketing, and the marketing stuff. So there's some really good candidates there. So I'm kind of glad you opened it, find out more in the community what we have. So, and some of them might be able to work on committees too. So anyway, I'm thinking that we ought to have like a small group just to interview them all. And if anybody wants to volunteer for that, then we'll bring maybe the top 3 candidates to the committee. Is that
Is there one spot open?
one? Yeah.
So like, one person on the committee, rest is asked to support.
What was that?
So out of those 9, one only
Yeah.
gets chair at the table, but the rest could.
Yeah, we could
ask to
we
support.
could ask them to, they could come till,
Yeah.
they wouldn't vote, but they could come and then we could put them on committees too. If we have some committees. Does anybody want to volunteer to help do those interviews?
I'm happy to help.
Okay. Right.
I can help, but
I can take the notes. Chris can ask the heavy hitting questions.
deep, thoughtful.
I can help too, Mike. Maybe too.
Okay.
And you don't care if we set it up over Zoom or something like that, or would you prefer in person?
What do you guys, yeah, you interviewing people, is it better do it in person or?
If you can, and
Yeah.
it sounds like
Yeah.
most of those would be able to meet. in
Yeah, they're all
person.
local.
Yeah.
So how long? 10 minutes? Is that too short a time? I mean, we got 9 people to go through. That's. Good. So we'll probably set them up all at the same time, one right after another, probably just a year. So, okay, I'll work on that. Okay, reports on what's happening, things happening in Payson. So Dave, you want to give an update on the downtown?
Sure. Earlier in the week, we did some potholing. The estimated cost of doing this project has skyrocketed. Council had a
appropriated about 8.3 million. It's looking at about 17 million.
Really?
And so we're looking at what we can do. So part of the potholing is so we could see what actually was under the street. We had a little bit of good news because our understanding was we had concrete panels all from 100 North all the way to 7th South. And it looks like concrete panels are only on the historic Main Street part, most couple of blocks. Well, that should lessen the price a little bit because that was quite an expense to get those cut out, taken out. Anyway, we're waiting back from the design engineer to see what the rest of the costs are going to be, and just to see what we can do. We probably will go with this lobbyist we have to see if we can get more from the state. I'm not confident that we will, but better ask, see if we can do it. Otherwise, I think the plan is to get everything designed for downtown, but we probably just have to phase. We have to put the 5 million at least from the state into the infrastructure replacement underneath the road. So that's probably phase number 1, is to get the road, all the utilities underneath the road changed out and finished. The pretty stuff on the top, it's just going to depend on what kind of budgets we have. So we've been working with our consultants and their contractors well to see what things we can do to shave down some of the cost.
What's your time frame?
Well, we really wanted to put it out to bid this fall and start in the spring. We'll have to see what happens. I still think we want to do that as far as the infrastructure. Some of the other stuff's going to depend on what kind of budgets we have. So,
Are they giving you a reason why the estimate was so off?
I know the consulting engineer working with Hogan Construction, that's where the disconnect has been. Hogan's prices came in a lot higher, so they've been working together to see. But every project we do these days are way over budget. And
I know it. I just built that dish.
yeah, it's just nobody will guarantee prices for more than a week or 2 weeks.
Well, concrete's scarce.
Concrete's still really high. Some of the wood prices have gone down a little bit,
Yeah.
but still, it's just power costs. I mean, power costs keep going up, and
There's a diesel shortage.
well, even to get a transformer for a project, it's a year out or so. So I don't even know how the contractors are doing it.
Another challenge too is with the downtown, with the old buildings, we can't just go tear the concrete out. They gotta cut it and everything, just to.
Yeah, you have to be careful because of the historic nature and how old the buildings are. So that raises the cost as well, especially those 2 block areas. But we're still moving forward, and we're hoping that at least we can phase and still do the projects we want to do. It depends. What we originally put in there is that they would just do parts, like so that it wouldn't, the whole thing wouldn't be torn up. Especially on historic downtown, maybe do a block at a time, so that people can still access. And we asked a lot of the business owners to let people access from the back, so that it's not going to disrupt too much. So, and I think once you get past the historic part, it'll be a lot faster. The underground done. So that's what we're doing.
Thanks, Dave. So another thing downtown, the food hall, we have hired an architect, so he's working on doing some plans for the food hall down there. Let's see. We respond to an RFI. It was kind of a different one. Usually they just ask for land or a building. This one asks for a co-manufacturer. And so And there's to do high-end milk, dry milk for baby formula. And so actually Intermountain Nutrition does a lot of, that type of stuff. So I hooked Intermountain Nutrition up, and there's a guy that's adding 300,000 square foot to that building, and Intermountain only thinks about 100,000 of that. So right a week after I sent it in, they already reaching out, trying to get hold of Intermountain and see. So there might be some possibilities there. So being a win-win for business already here, a new building, and so be good. You can respond to somebody who's looking for some land. They found some land in the business park, and they want to do some food manufacturing. Anytime you hear food manufacturing, bells go off because it's so intense on water and sewer and everything. So they actually sent us up. I think they had an RFI, and I didn't respond to it just because of the nature of it. So they asked about water, sewer, gas, and electricity. We can do electricity fine, but amount of water they need, we've got to put a new water tank. The high pressure gas that they needed, Dominion said that it cost about $7 million to get gas there that they needed.
Going right 15.
Yeah, one right 15.
Wow.
And then with sewer, it filled the capacity of our plant. So it's like, we send the stuff back, but I'm sure that's the last we heard of that. But we responded anyway. So. Working on trying to get a rail spur hub out on the west side. There aren't any rail spur hubs, where more than one business can use a rail spur. So we're working on trying to do that. Let's see. We have a restaurant that's interested in Payson. It's a sit-down restaurant. It's a locally owned one, but it's pretty nice one. So not a steakhouse, but it's a variety of food, breakfast, dinner. So
It's not a Mexican restaurant or pizza.
it's not. It has some of those things, but
Man.
but it does have a lot of different stuff, and people really
It is a
like it.
breakfast though.
Yeah, people really like it.
Yeah, I don't think it's considered a Mexican restaurant.
Oh, good.
But yeah, yeah. Okay, so I was gonna show you a graph here. Don't see it. Was there? There it is. Get these stuff in your road and you can't do anything. There we go. So this is a sales tax comparison. So the first line is for the first one's for the month, then it's year to date, and then it's for whole year. But there's Payson, so we did 490. This is in the end of October. 490,000, and we ranked 27th in the state as far as our percent of growth in sales tax. And then we're at 15.81 for year to date, so we're 18th in the state. So I like to look at this to see how we're comparing to others, because if we're staying status quo, we really aren't getting ahead. Everybody else is going that way, but this actually is a little bit higher than we have been. So we're actually making up ground more than we're just staying status quo with everybody else in the state. So I thought that's kind of interesting to look at that. So, but if you want me to send that out, I can send it out to you. Okay. Mayor, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I was on mute. Sorry, I'm not there.
Do you have anything to report on what's happening in Payson?
No, I think you've covered it pretty good. Just excited about Jones Paint Glass, whether they're going to do their factory first or their outlet first. So
I think they're looking at doing their retail business first. They've got their plans in. Well, either one will be good.
It already,
Again, the cost skyrocketed, so I think they're wanting to get the retail open, but they will move their manufacturing over. So
did this site work on it, in fact, where they're going? For the retail, for the vape shop is on 800 South, across the interstate by Wendy's, just the same place.
it's a nice thing, area a little further to the west.
Yeah.
the other thing I'll comment on is Popeyes. I talked to their district manager or area manager, Manny Shirtliff. He was with, had the Dalton's restaurant, but they're looking at maybe sometime after Thanksgiving or early December.
Okay, great. So next one is visiting assignments. So did everybody get the email with the assignments and?
Yes, I did.
What exactly are you wanting us to do? I mean, you assigned me to.
You weren't here, you weren't here.
And I'm thinking, what do you mean, Kevin? He's part of the committee. He's already covered pretty good. What exactly do you want us to do on these
Yeah,
assignments?
that'll be fine. Oh, where is it?
So why is looking how last time we discussed, you know, like we found out stuff too late, maybe like we used to trade shop as an example. They blew up and they ended up going to Springville, but had their bit.
We had a finger on the
New,
pulse and maybe I was.
maybe Payson could work to keep.
And we did try, but we were a little too late. We tried to get where we could build a building, had a place for it, but it was just, we already had a building found, so. But if we knew a little bit earlier, really knew the situation, maybe we could have kept it here, because I meant they built us 40,000 square foot building just like that since they left here, so doing great, so. And then Rocky Mountain ATV, they're gonna start manufacturing. I didn't know about filling it already until just before, and they're found some land back east, so,
Oh, wow.
so.
They're not moving their whole operation.
No.
Just part of it.
Yeah, well, they aren't even moving anything, they're just expanding to manufacturing, so it's one that we've got, right here locally, so. That's the best way to grow is your local people, more trying to get people coming, how many businesses we have really come into to Payson. So that's kind of the reason for that, Chris. And we wanted everybody, even though Kevin's here, we want somebody else just go out and visit them, be able to report back. And some things they might not want to tell everybody if we ask them in a meeting or something like that. So that's the idea behind it. And what I thought about this morning or last night is what I'd like to do is have everybody come report if there's anything new, make sure they're visiting and seeing and know what's going on. But just know who the CEO is, who the CFO is, contact information, what their business is, what they do, and report that. So I was thinking just doing a Google Doc in Word and let people just add to it as something comes up and put all the information they know about who, phone numbers, emails, contacts. And then the city has something too. They can come to us and say, hey, we need to have somebody's phone number or contact or something like that, then we can really help the city that way. So that's kind of the idea.
Mine's like yours, because Ben Ford's from the Eagle School District is on the committee as well, but it's still just having some other connection there to.
I'm here for you, Kevin.
I feel it. I feel you're welcome.
So we'll go through this and see if anybody's had a chance. I know that it's only sent out a couple of weeks ago, so. So Mayor, have you had a chance to meet with Walmart or Smith's and give an update?
No, not yet. It's on my list. I'm sorry I haven't got it done today, but I know them both real well and I'll take care of it this week.
Okay, we didn't have a sign for Payson Market, so.
I can go, I mean, not to, I could go meet with them too. I mean,
Good.
because Kevin, it's gonna be kind of easy.
I don't know.
They have a lot going on.
Tough guy to have.
They have challenges with the city all the time. They have to be the kind of in-between person.
He'll love you guys. I'll go meet with Payson Market.
Okay, Rocky Mountain ATV, Dave.
I've got an appointment actually with him today,
Okay, great.
3:30. I didn't put it on my calendar, but this morning I got thinking, I knew I reached out to him and it is today. So I reached out to Plunder as well, but I haven't heard back from him.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna sit down with Dan Thomas at 3:30.
When you meet with Dan, can you talk to him about Adventure Days? Well, he's on the committee. Never mind, he's on.
Is he? I was gonna hit him up about some of those things.
Motocross, we're moving forward on the
And just see
motocross.
how, what role he's in this
Yeah,
business
yeah.
now and what his plan is for the future. Cause I know he sold the business to the employees that I can't remember what it's called. It's a,
Ice off or something.
yeah. So the employees have ownership in the building or in the business.
And you might find out who the contacts are, the people
Yeah.
actually doing the work, so. Anyway, see, things like that are what we're trying to know what's going on, so. Teresa's not here, Wynn's not here. Intermountain Nutrition, so I've talked to Ryan quite a bit. That's one I talked about, doing the baby formula manufacturing, so. And I also know the guy, talked to the guy, and I'll put that on in this, when I do the Word document, the guy that's building. There's a guy that bought that building, so the Intermountain Nutrition doesn't own the building anymore. They just lease it. And then I know the guy that's building the new building. I think I think he got into DRC once, but he's doing, maybe he hasn't gotten in yet, but I can't remember figure out why, but he's still working on that. There was something he was working on, trying to get that in the city. Kevin, Neville School District, you filled your assignment, so.
Yeah, my first assignment was to try to find a time when Ben could be here. I actually reached out to Rick Nielsen, the superintendent, to get Ben's contact info and talk to Rick a little bit about how involved he wants, Ben to be and how important that is, and got really good feedback. And he, made some suggestions, and I got a hold of Ben, and then we worked to try to move the meeting to accommodate his schedule.
And he didn't show up.
And he showed up. So I'll follow through. I have a good relationship with the district. I know superintendent really well. I sit on the Eagle Foundation board, so I get sort of a look into a window of what they're doing there. I think there's opportunity there as we move forward to ask them to help us get more involved with like internships and things to support businesses. And we talked about that in our whole Home to Adventure, when we talk about the secondary and high school programs, that I think one of the ways we can differentiate ourselves is to have education be more of an adventure as well, more of an interactive relationship with key businesses and not just a classroom learning setting. And I think the key to that is through internships, both with the high school, maybe even at the junior high level if there's a place for it, but certainly at the high school level. And then, with what we're doing with UVU and MTech, same thing. I think there's great opportunity there. So I think it'll be really important to have Ben here if he can be here, and I think we can sort of explore where we go with that. But again, I would love to see us work with them to proactively promote, internships and experience-based learning, not just classroom learning, which again, I think would set us apart from other communities if we can do that in a creative way. So, and I think that they're willing to do that. I think that they, I've discussed it with them. There's interest in figuring out how to do that better.
So one thing about a school district, we're so lucky to have the school district we have. you hear it from other
Oh, yeah.
people with trying to work with the Alpine School District, and stuff, the cities and that, just, but we have a great
Well,
work with the city does.
We do, and we have a fantastic superintendent. He is good. Rick is really, really good. He's smart, but he's just very in tune with the community and is doing some progressive things. Their learning center over in Salem, I don't know if any of you had a chance to tour that.
Good.
If you haven't, try to find time to go over there. It's incredible. It's something that I think, you know, it's probably a underutilized and underappreciated resource, but that's the kind of proactive things that they're doing in our district, I think are pretty impressive.
Okay, great.
They used to do that intern program quite heavily.
Yeah.
And maybe when the advanced learning center opened, because can't remember her name, her last name's Hare. But she used to run the intern program because we used to have one or two here every year.
Yeah.
And then when that opened up, I don't know if that took the focus, but yeah, it'd be good to get it back up again because it helps the kids.
Okay, who's next here? Mountain View, Chris, you just found out about that, what you're supposed to do, so we won't.
Kevin's doing awesome.
She's gonna ride me, make sure I stay involved. That'll be her job.
Okay, Paris RV, Ty.
Yeah, so, of course, you know, how I really got to know is through doing insurance for the golf tournament, for the hole-in-one, insuring the trailer in case someone wins it, you know. So I haven't spoken to, of course, Dory's usually the one that's more easily available. And so I haven't talked to her this month yet, but yeah, a couple weeks ago, last month, she was talking about how stuff is more towards Payson, and in other words, their headquarters, I think they're pushing to make it here. But I'll keep at them and their contacts and everything. I'll update in that Google Doc. Are you forming the doc or?
Yeah, I'll form the doc.
Okay. And then once it's sent out, I'll get that updated. But I will reach out and say, hey, let me take you and your husband to lunch. Just kind of
And I
introduce what.
I can give you a little more background so you have some things that are going on there.
Yeah.
Paris RV is looking to open a storage area for RVs and boats. And they're one being Payson. It's just been a hard time finding some property for them. So just so you know, they want to do that and they're looking for property.
Sweet.
And the other thing is with MTech. We work with Paris RV and now the RV Association up in Salt Lake. They're putting together a class or not, I don't know how it's gonna work for sure. It's not gonna be a specific class and all. Well, they're gonna have classes, but it's not gonna be where they're doing repairs at the MTech facility. But anyway, that's in the works. It should start next fall. So they'll have, and they're all the RV associations happy about, Paris RV's happy, and so it's gonna be a win-win for everybody.
Is it like a certification type class through MTech to be able to be certified trainer technician or something like that?
So so they're gonna go to legislature to get money for it, this legislature, but it's gonna start no matter what, because they figure it's gonna be about $100,000 to start it. But the RV Association said they'll pay the first year, so it's gonna happen. So it's something that started here in Payson with working with one of our customers. So things like that, not really helping so much bring sales tax or anything, but just helping our customers, and then they can put word out how we do things in Payson. So anyway, so that gives you a little background on some particular hours.
How are their sales? I mean, are they doing pretty good? Because I know when they first opened, they said they beat their projections. I'm hoping they're sustaining what they're hoping for?
It's slowed down.
Yeah, I think part of that is just because fuel prices and inflation, people are hungry.
Economy, interest rates,
Everybody's hunkering down.
but they say they can weather any storms.
Yeah.
They say,
They've got a lot of inventory.
yeah,
I think that's what was scary, because even I had a friend comment about like, I'm scared for them. They have a lot of inventory. And it's
they
like,
do,
don't worry about that.
yeah.
Well, and the inventory for all their sites, right? I mean, they can pull a trailer from any of
Yeah,
those sites. So to
right.
have such a big lot, then they have multiple sales points. And they could just say, well, we have, 10 of
Right.
those down in Payson.
Yeah.
So I think that it works really well for them to have whatever anybody's looking for, they can get it to them quick.
And they probably do have more here because they don't have much storage.
They have
in
more land.
Salt Lake, you know.
Which is great.
And they did buy a place in Pocatello too, so they own.
Yeah, another site to sell.
Another site,
Yeah.
We'll sell some of the trailers sitting on the lot here
Yeah.
on all those sites, so.
See, well, we got here. London, we already talked about, Dave's not here, MTech. I gave you a little report on what's happened with MTech. Oh, another thing is with their building, I keep in contact quite a bit with them because things come up in DRC that they might not be aware of. So the infrastructure there, and they want to start in the spring, so I put them in touch with the person that's over the general manager for putting all that infrastructure so they can have contact back and forth. And then something come up about wetlands this week, and so I talked to them about wetlands and well, where that worked out. So just things like that where we can keep in contact with them, but they're still moving forward and they're excited about it. Should be great for Payson. So. Let's see. UBU, Dan, Win right here, David, and Jade. Okay. Anything else? Anybody wants to say anything about this? Is there anybody would want to add to it?
I have a pretty good relationship with Jared Gordon down there, Gordon Cities. And I know Lynn's over it, but I just talked to Jared yesterday and I believe he's mentioned this in the past, he's expanded to Provo and then Nephi. And I think he loves the sizes of those buildings. I think eventually he's looking for something bigger here.
Yeah, he needs a bigger place.
Yeah, so.
I mean, you don't want Santa Clara that's twice the size.
Yeah, I just hate to lose them,
We're working on that, Ty.
Okay, beautiful. Just reporting what, I talk to him all the time.
Yep.
Okay, I'll add to that.
Hey, Brian, when it's appropriate, maybe I can talk a little bit about the transportation meeting I was able to go to in Santaquin too.
Let's do it right now.
Okay, just, it was my week or a week and a half ago over to Santaquin. The State Transportation Commission was there, and I was able to get up and talk to him a little bit about, what our plans for the new interchange just north of Main Street, north and east. Was able to give a report on what we're doing there, and I think maybe they weren't totally aware of our project, but they are now, and felt like it made a pretty good impression with the commission members. I was able to speak to each one of them individually after the meeting, and spoke with Darren Bunker about some progress that we're making with regards to our lobbyists and the efforts that they're going there, and the possibility of having some different phases, phasing that interchange into existence. Not just doing it all at once, which is extremely expensive, but it looks very, very promising that we may be able to do it in phases, and just excited about the possibilities of that happening. Which would trigger an awful lot of other possibilities for development. Just the church alone has 750 acres there that could be developed, and then there's more. So really excited about the possibilities there.
And adding to that, Mayor, thanks that we're working on a not a TOD, but the plan for the COD, stationary plan. Stationary plan that the UDOT's paid for. And then we're gonna use a new specific area plan for that whole area with all the church property, so. Working on that.
That's exciting that the church is really wanting to be part of this stationary plan, and that's starting to ramp up.
I forgot a couple of things that I should have talked about earlier. Just came to my mind. We're still working on adventure days for the first Saturday in June. So if you have any ideas for that, we do have a committee now, and we put together a list about 20 things that we want to work out on. Just one that we were able to kind of nail down yesterday is there's a cornhole group that wants to use the Utah Trikes building to do cornhole tournaments on Thursday, maybe Saturdays. So they're looking at doing that. And then do something on Adventure Days, put it out on Main Street. Do that. So if you have any ideas for Adventure Days, let us know. And then Dave, maybe you want to talk about the survey.
Yeah, we are gonna put out a new community survey, work with the consultant. We've gone through some questions. Part of that is Adventure Day, some things that we're going to do, but it's just to get pulse from the community of what we're doing well, what we're not doing well. And sometimes that surveys you have to have thick skin because you'll get some negative comments, but it's a good thing overall. And so we've worked on it as a committee with the consultant. We're going to send it to city staff and then probably the city council before we put it out. But our hope is to put it out probably the first part of January, maybe December.
Yeah, one of the big questions is, how do you rate the city manager?
Oh, dang, we live in Elfrage.
You guys can't.
Yeah. Actually, you can do the survey.
Yeah.
But for the statistics that come out, it drops. You can do the whole thing, you don't know it, but it drops you off when it does the statistics, because that's where you live, so. So anyway, that should be good.
It's always good. It gives you good information and it kind of lets you know how the citizens perceive things, and that's good. To work on things, I know. But,
Texas Roadhouse.
this guy's had some pretty good success with other cities, and it's just, if it works well, we'll probably have an ongoing relationship. Just make that an annual thing or something that we can get surveys out to involve the public and help us do better with the utilities. I don't think there's one on the city manager, but
No, there is.
but there was an internal survey with all the employees a couple of years ago about how things go internally, and that was pretty telling.
One thing about this survey, we did a survey before we did our branding, but a couple of them, they're really, it gave us a lot of good information, but it was a lot of kind of more open-ended, and it was hard to get statistics. This guy has it all down, so you can look at graphs, charts, and everything, so it's pretty easy to interpret it, I guess. So should be fun. The next thing I have is just our website. We finally started getting something on the website for all these projects that we have. They're there, but they aren't populated yet. So that should be happening really soon. So we're gonna have all these different projects are going on. Like let's see one that's working on right now. So Geneva Rock Concrete Batch Plant, they're working on a new piece of that. Expanding. So you'll be able to, anybody will be able to go in and look at what's happening, big pictures and site plans. So it'll be open to the public. And anybody here or the city council or planning and say, I always forget what's going on. And or somebody asks me a question, I can't. Anyway, it'll be all right here. Everything is going on in Payson. Has happened, will happen. It'll be really good. So we're making a little progress that way. That brings me up to another question. We have this on the website back here. So we have a spot for economic development. And this is about all we have in it, but we have all these different categories. one of my things is trying to populate that, but just trying to keep on top of everything that's going on. Businesses and things like that, it's just not happening. I haven't finished the strategic plan. So we did make quite a bit of money, I think, from our golf event. So I'd like to get feedback from this committee. If we get somebody that's an expert in this type of stuff, maybe Kim Gardner Institute or something like that, hire them to populate our website. Because people come and look at Payson, they go to economic development. We have some great stories, Rocky Mountain ATV, or not Rocky Mountain, well, at Rocky Mountain ATV, but Paris RV, they'll give testimonials. We could have some really great stuff in here, but it's just getting to populate the time to do that. I'm not an expert on it either. I can do some pretty good stuff, but not as good as probably some expert. So I was wondering if you had, if we could maybe spend some of that money that we got from the golf event, trying to populate our website.
Do you have enough money in the budget? I mean, in the account?
We don't, we got pretty good money now. We probably, how much do you think we made off that golf? 10, maybe 10,000?
Is that gonna be enough to get started on that?
I think so.
Be close.
Okay.
I put in for a grant through the City Manager Association for an intern. Look at maybe this social media aspect, how to communicate better with the public, and that may be something we can add in. And
Great project.
it's not a big amount of money, but it's, they give us 5,000, we spend 5,000. It's just, and you usually get an MPA student that's going into administration. And so, anyway, I don't know if we'll get that, but we've also budgeted some money to do that as well. And we just need help as staff. Everybody's got so many things going on that social media takes a back seat. And I don't think we do a very good job at promoting ourselves and putting the word out of things that are going on. And so that's a hope, and maybe that could be some project that they could do if we get that grant.
Right. And I don't know if they'd have the expertise to do it, but maybe they can coordinate. But I really think we need to get somebody hired.
But we could look at it. I'm still waiting for a couple of costs coming through Tracy, but I think we've got most of it of the revenue.
And we have money in there before that too, so we probably have a pretty good nest egg in there. And we understand we ought to be using it to do what we're supposed to be doing, is for economic development. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna pursue that. We'll reach out and try to find some people that might have some interest in helping us and see what it might cost to do that. So
They think that's smart because they kind of go hand in hand, and that's how the world is going. And first place people do their research is
Yep.
online.
Yep.
So
and we got that one piece that's gonna be in place for all our projects are, which will be really good, people like that. Then we can just populate the rest of it. We'll have a great economic development website. And it's right there all by itself. It's not lost in something, so.
First impression is a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess.
Okay,
And on that note, Dave, about social media, I have a really close friend who uses social media for other businesses. So, yeah, if the city ever, even if you do get this intern and need to work with someone that knows their ins and outs.
Right. Okay.
But
and also one of these people that applied for the website or for the committee does social media. That's what they do.
Yeah, I gotta run.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah.
Is there a meeting here at 9?
I think so. We probably
Okay.
gotta wrap up.
We'll wrap up real quick.
Okay, thanks.
see,
Good to see
Kevin,
you all.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, see ya.
I was just gonna go through some, what time is it?
10-2.
10 to? Oh, we got 5 minutes maybe. I'll just go through this real quick. Just some of the challenges that we're having. So this is I've had Kenworth looking for land here in Payson, and Paris RV looking for a place. I started looking at the amount of land that we have available in our different zones. Like the I-1 zone, which is your light industrial, which where Paris RV would go. There's like 223 acres and it's kind of spread out. No, those are build out acres. We only have 70 acres that are available And a lot of most of that is already bought and people have plans for it. So really there's hardly anything available for in the I-1. I-2 is the heavy industrial, and we have 6.5 acres available for that. And I don't know if that's something we really want to pursue. That'd be like your batch plants, Geneva and stuff like that. So probably something I'm not too concerned about. Then our business park, most of that land's also either under contract or people are looking at doing something with it. So we have 100 acres, about 100 acres available in our business park, but a lot of that's under contract or somebody's already has plans for it. So there's not a lot there either. And then if you go to the S1, which is your highway commercial, and most of that's the Woodbury land. But other than that, if we want like Kenworth, we only had 2 places we can even identify that they might go to. You won't have to be on the freeway, and that's you're going to be your sales tax base and stuff like that. There's the Fly J property, and then there's a little piece down by the main streets or the veterinary places. There's kind of you'd have to put like 3 pieces together. They don't want to go there because it's right next to the apartments. But there's just nothing available. So this is a discussion we have to have with the city and city council. Going up north really hard because you got church property in between, put infrastructure in. There's not a lot down south. So it's something that's going to be really it'll hurt us if we don't plan because we won't be able to recruit anybody. And if you can't recruit anybody, then your sales tax going away and stuff like that. I'm not quite so concerned about the industrial because we have other places that they can build and rent and stuff like that. But the highway commercial is expensive. So anyway, just so you know about that, we're going to talk to city council, I think, tonight about that a little bit. So. Okay. Anybody have anything else? Not, we'll be done for today. Okay. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Brian.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah.